In this movie, a young married couple falls in love, but the lady has many extramarital encounters in an attempt to win her husband's attention. Vic, the husband, rides his bike through the woods and returns home after working out at the beginning of the narrative. His lovely wife Melinda is at home with their daughter Trixie. Melinda and Vic have a party planned for that evening. Melinda dresses elegantly for the celebration, and her spouse finds it appealing. He tells her he loves her at the party as he gets dressed. While Melinda waits for her lover to come there so they may spend the evening together, Vic converses with his pals. Vic watches them from the window as they kiss when her guy shows up. Melinda avoids Vic's glances and carries on enjoying her time with her lover. Vic speaks with another lady in the interim. They are speaking when they see Melinda playing the piano for the visitors. Vic gives her a tender glance at the celebration. Vic is approached by Joel, the same person who is seeing Melinda, who expresses gratitude for letting him date his wife. Vic replies, "Do you remember Martin? He was my wife's former partner. I took his life." When Joel learns this, he is frightened and startled, and he quickly quits the party since they are going home. Melinda queries her husband about the words he used to exclude Joel from the gathering. Vic said that when he got home, he didn't say anything to him. Vic gives the nanny his money. With the intention of getting close to her and spending the night with her, Melinda undresses and heads to the bedroom with Vic trailing after. Melinda instructs him to ignore him and lock the door. When Vic returns home in the morning, he heads to the basement where he has established a snail farming enterprise. Their mother informs their daughter, who is playing and developing a new piece, that she is just as intelligent as her father. When Vic brings his kid to school, a local lady informs him that everyone in the community thinks he's done with Martin. Vic brushes this off as a rumor and doesn't give a damn about gossip. When he gets home, Belinda tells him that Joel isn't answering her phone and that Vic has to make up to him for frightening him off the night before. Vic approaches Joel and invites him to spend time with his wife at their home. Vic comforts Joel's kid, who is scared, saying he's come for Melinda's sake. Vic makes dinner for Joel and his kid when they get to their home, and Joel is quite happy with it. When Vic informs Melinda that he has to go to a different place for business, Melinda declares her love for him and says they must go see him in order to ensure Joel's comfort. Melinda likes Joel's companionship in bed when she asks him to read to their daughter. When Vic starts to make noise to catch Melinda's attention, she tells him she's enjoying her time with her partner and asks him not to bother her later. Joel says he's sorry for being here, but Vic assures him it's okay and gets him a cab. They all attend a family get-together the next day and have a conversation with a local writer. Vic is informed by the writer that there is a story that he killed his wife's ex-boyfriend, but nobody believes him. As a result, they all laugh it off and continue dancing, hurt by what the writer said. To get even with the writer, Vic extends an invitation to dance. Vic has never danced with a woman before, so everyone is shocked by his actions, and as they go home, Melinda is envious. Vic is pleased to see Melinda having an intimate conversation with her husband in the vehicle as they go out to see their daughter compete in the morning. Melinda is trying to get her husband's attention. When Vic returns home, he sees on the news that Martin's body has been found. The next day, Vic sees the piano teacher with a bunch of flowers on the street. When he gets home, he finds the flowers on the table and realizes that the piano teacher has visited his wife. Vic gets a call from the bank telling him that he doesn't have enough money to cover a check. Vic finds out that Melinda gave the check to her piano teacher. Vic goes to the piano teacher and finds Melinda there with her. Vic realizes that his wife is having an affair with her piano teacher. To their delight, Melinda stays the night with her piano instructor and doesn't return home. Vic is waiting for her when she gets home in the morning, and he advises her to break up with the piano instructor because he doesn't think it's acceptable. Melinda insists she never did anything and loves having her around. That same day, they go to a party with their other friends, but Melinda won't leave Vic's side. Melinda is enjoying herself while swimming in the pool with other visitors. Vic is furious when he sees his wife smiling at the piano instructor. Everyone starts dancing as their kid begins to play the piano, much to everyone's delight. Vic is excited as Melinda leans on him and gets near to him before turning to her partner. Melinda is having a private conversation with Vic in the room. As soon as they both enter the pool, it begins to rain. With the exception of Vic and Melinda's boyfriend, everyone goes inside. Vic takes advantage of the fact that no one else is around and drowns Melinda's boyfriend in the pool before going back inside the home with the others. On her way to meet her lover, Melinda stumbles onto his dead corpse in the river. She drags him out, asks for assistance, starts CPR, and dials an ambulance. But he doesn't make it. When the police arrive and start questioning them, everyone claims it was an accident and they didn't see anything. Vic is held accountable, according to Melinda. Vic admits to his wife that she is wrong and that he is not at blame when driving back home. Vic feels like someone is following him as he steps outdoors the next day. He encounters the writer's wife at his daughter's school and extends an invitation for her and her husband to supper at their home. Her husband thinks he hurt their kid, so the wife tells him to take caution. Vic shows the writer the snails in the basement when they go to his home for the party and warns him not to tell anybody about him. Because he doesn't want to become involved the following day, the writer tells him that he won't. Vic notices a vehicle following him as he steps outside. He then informs the writer and his family that he is aware that he has engaged a private investigator to pursue him. As Vic is leaving for home, the writer's wife realizes this and becomes quite upset with him. He notices that his spouse has moved on and is getting ready to go out with her new partner. Vic learns his wife has returned home from her romantic rendezvous and is chatting with her boyfriend's kid when he gets there. He understands that the son wants to move their daughter and her mother to a different city in order to keep them away from him. Vic asks Tony, an old friend of his wife's, to visit their home when Tony gets there as a result. Melinda tells Tony, in front of her husband, that she misses their hours spent sharing bedtime stories. Melinda is thrilled that they are cooking supper together. During their supper together, Melinda is having fun with Tony without Vic knowing, which makes Vic envious. Melinda notices that Vic is observing them as she and Tony enter the bedroom, but she doesn't seem to mind. Vic visits Tony the next day and extends an invitation to see a new home he purchased close to the forest. Tony accepts, and the two of them go into the vehicle together. Vic picks him up fast and drives him into the jungle. Taking Tony's paperwork out of his pocket, he tosses him downstream and drowns him in the river. After that, he walks home with composure and enjoys lunch with his daughter. Vic responds that he hasn't seen Tony at all when Melinda asks him why Tony isn't picking up his phone. Together, they take a stroll, and on the way home, Vic surprises Melinda with an album of pictures he shot of her. This makes her extremely pleased. Vic says he will go there personally tomorrow and bring them back if they are still there when they get home after Melinda informs him she left her clothing by the lake. Melinda approaches Vic and tells him that she has a long-lasting, passionate connection with him and that she loves him very much. The next day, Melinda goes to the basement and finds Tony's paperwork in a container of water, proving that her husband murdered Tony, while Vic takes his bike to the forest. Vic uses a stick to shove Tony underwater when he gets to the river and sees his corpse floating there. He becomes aware that the writer is following him and has seen every moment. Vic pursues Melinda in an attempt to apprehend her. When her daughter tosses her luggage into the swimming pool and declares they are staying home, she is sobbing and packing her belongings at home. Vic puts himself in front of the rider's vehicle as he is pursuing him, forcing him to lose control, crash, and fall into the sea. When Vic gets back home, Melinda informs him that even though she knows Vic murdered Tony, she burnt Tony's stuff so that their family would have one more opportunity to be together. I appreciate you seeing. Remember to subscribe to and like the channel. I'll see you in the next video.